Did you know that Brazil is home to a forbidden island of snakes only scientists and soldiers can visit, and has a river flowing through it that actually boils? Yes, Brazil is the only place on earth where you might wake up to monkeys screaming outside your window while the scent of sizzling churrasco fills the air. Not to mention a festival so grand it makes a Super Bowl look like a small family gathering. Obrigado! I'm Jeremy, and today I'll bring you on a journey through this vibrant South American giant. Buckle up, because this is going to be one epic ride. So, grab your caipirinha and let's get started. The story goes way back, and that's an understatement. While Brazil as a nation is relatively young, human history in this land dates back to at least 11,000 years ago. Some archaeological sites, like Serra de Capivara in the northeast, show evidence of human presence potentially dating back 50,000 years. That's older than many European cave paintings. The indigenous people of Brazil didn't just survive in the dense rainforests and diverse landscapes. They thrived. They developed sophisticated agricultural techniques like terra preta that scientists are still trying to fully understand today. This super fertile anthropogenic soil was created by adding charcoal, bone, and manure to the otherwise poor Amazon soil, and it remains fertile for thousands of years. Modern agricultural science is still playing catch-up. Before Europeans arrived, an estimated 2,000 distinct indigenous tribes with a population of up to 11 million people called this land home. These weren't simple societies. They had complex social structures, developed trade networks spanning thousands of kilometers, and astronomical knowledge that helped them navigate the dense forests and time their agricultural activities. The European chapter of Brazil's story kicks off with Pedro Álvares Cabral in 1500, who supposedly discovered Brazil while trying to get to India. Talk about a navigation error with massive consequences. Though to be fair, some historians believe the Portuguese already knew about these lands, and Cabral's accidental discovery was more of a well-planned expedition. The colonial period brought dramatic changes. Portugal established a plantation economy based on sugarcane, and later coffee and rubber. This also led to the tragic importation of nearly 5 million enslaved Africans, more than any other country in the Americas. This terrible chapter has, however, profoundly shaped Brazil's unique cultural tapestry. Brazil's path to independence was quite different from its South American neighbors. When Napoleon invaded Portugal in 1807, the entire Portuguese royal court fled to Brazil, making Rio de Janeiro the only New World city that served as the capital of a European empire. When King João VI returned to Portugal in 1821, he left his son Pedro behind, who, instead of returning to Portugal as ordered, declared independence or death in 1822, becoming Emperor Pedro I of Brazil. That was like the ultimate teenage rebellion, but on a national scale. Now, let's talk about the land itself. Brazil isn't just big, it's massive. It's the 5th largest country on Earth, covering nearly half of South America. It's so enormous that it borders 10 out of the 12 other South American countries. The mighty Amazon isn't just a river. It's a liquid giant that carries more water than the next 7 largest rivers in the world combined. At its widest, it stretches 11 kilometers across, so that's so wide that there's no bridge anywhere along its 6,400 kilometer length. During the rainy season, it expands to create a floodplain wider than the entire nation of Switzerland. And beneath it lies another recently discovered underground river, the Hamza, which flows 4,000 meters below the surface. But Brazil is far more than just the Amazon. The Pantanal region in the west is the world's largest tropical wetland, an area the size of Washington state that transforms from a parched savanna back to a vast floodplain each year. It's like Mother Nature's ultimate seasonal makeover. This incredible ecosystem hosts the highest concentration of wildlife in South America, including jaguars that have adapted to swim through flooded plains to hunt. Yes, swimming jaguars, because regular jaguars just weren't terrifying enough. In the northeast, you'll find the otherworldly Lençóis Maranhenses, where endless white sand dunes cradle thousands of crystal clear seasonal lagoons. It looks like someone took the Sahara and dotted it with natural swimming pools. And honestly, you would be forgiven for thinking you've landed on another planet. The stunning coastal regions stretch for over 7,491 kilometers or 4,654 miles, featuring everything from the tropical beaches of Rio to the dramatic cliffs of Santa Catarina. The Fernando de Noronha archipelago, with water so clear you can see fish swimming from 30 meters above, is constantly ranked amongst the world's most beautiful beach destinations. And let's not forget the fascinating boiling river in the Amazon. This non-volcanic hot river reaches temperatures in excess of a scalding 96 degrees Celsius or 190 degrees Fahrenheit. Local shamans consider it a sacred place of tremendous spiritual power, and scientists were skeptical it even exists until recently. It turns out geothermally heated water from deep underground is forcing its way to the surface. It's like nature's own hot tub. The climate is just as diverse as the geography. While most of Brazil experiences tropical or subtropical conditions, the southern regions can see snow in winter. From the humid Amazon basin to the semi-arid Caatinga of the northeast, Brazil contains 7 distinct biomes, each with its own unique climate patterns and biodiversity. Time to meet the locals, and not the human variety. Brazilian wildlife is what happens when evolution goes into creative overdrive. Let's dive into this incredible menagerie of unique creatures that call this vast country home. The Amazon rainforest alone hosts an estimated 10% of all known species on Earth. That's right, 1 in 10 of every living thing on our planet calls this place home. Scientists discover new species here at a rate of about 1 every 2 days. It's like nature's R&D department working overtime. Take the Pink River dolphin or boto. Not only is it one of the few freshwater dolphins in the world, but it's also the star of countless local legends, supposedly transforming into handsome men at night to seduce village women. These intelligent creatures can turn their head 180 degrees, unlike ocean dolphins, and use sonar to navigate through murky river waters to hunt. Then there's the harpy eagle, possibly the most powerful bird of prey on Earth. With talons the size of grizzly bear claws and a wingspan reaching 7 feet, this aerial predator can snatch up monkeys and sloths from treetops. While some say this magnificent bird was J.K. Rowling's inspiration for Fawkes, the highly intelligent phoenix in the Harry Potter movies, that was actually Guy Fawkes of gunpowder plot infamy. Brazil is also home to the jaguar, the largest big cat in the Americas. Unlike other big cats, jaguars don't avoid water. They embrace it, often hunting caiman, a relative of alligators, by leaping into rivers. Think about that for a second. A cat that hunts alligators in water, just when you thought it was safe to go swimming. The man wolf is a large canine that takes the shape of a fox crossed with a deer, standing on stilts. Despite its name and appearance, it's neither wolf nor fox, but the only member of its genus, a true evolutionary one-off. And it marks its territory with a scent so distinctive that locals call it smell like cannabis in Portuguese. Let's not forget the extraordinary diversity of insects and arachnids. Brazil hosts about 70,000 species of insects, including the titan beetle, one of the world's largest insects, capable of snapping a pencil in half with its mandibles. And yes, some of the spiders are the size of dinner plates. Sweet dream, arachnophobes. The bird life is equally spectacular. The Pantanal hosts the magnificent hyacinth macaw, the largest flying parrot species, with its stunning cobalt blue feathers. And then there's the bizarre-looking hoatzin, or stinky turkey, a primitive bird whose chicks have claws on their wings, allowing them to climb trees like feathered velociraptors. Modern Brazilian culture is what happens when you mix indigenous traits with Portuguese colonial influence, African rhythms, and waves of immigration from around the world. The result? A vibrant tapestry that manages to be both cohesive and wonderfully diverse. Carnival isn't just a party, it's the party. The elaborate costumes and massive floats of the samba schools take an entire year to prepare for just 75 minutes of parade time. Imagine spending 364 days getting ready for a one-day event. That's dedication. With over 2 million people hitting the streets daily in Rio alone, Carnival is easily the biggest party on Earth. Football, or soccer for our American friends, isn't just a sport in Brazil, it's a religion. Brazil has won the FIFA World Cup a record 5 times, and the national obsession runs so deep that during World Cup matches, crime rates drop significantly. Even criminals pause to watch the game. The legendary Maracanã Stadium in Rio once held nearly 200,000 people for the 1950 World Cup final, the largest crowd ever to watch a football match. Brazilian music has given the world bossa nova, samba, forró, and countless other genres. The Girl from Ipanema is the world's second most recorded song in history, behind Yesterday by the Beatles. Music is so deeply embedded in daily life that it's not uncommon to see spontaneous dance parties break out in public spaces, because why wait for the weekend? The beach culture deserves a special mention. Copacabana and Ipanema aren't just beaches. They're outdoor living rooms where business deals are made, political discussions happen, and social life flourishes. The Brazilian bikini famously redefined swimwear worldwide, and beach vendors have elevated the art of selling everything from sunglasses to grilled cheese on a stick. Brazilian television, more specifically telenovelas, are cultural powerhouses that influence everything from fashion to social norms. When a character in a popular novela changes their hairstyle, salons across the country are flooded with requests for the same look the next day. Some telenovelas reach over 50 million viewers daily, more than many Super Bowls. Urban Brazil is a study in contrasts. Modern skyscrapers tower over colonial architecture, while in Rio, luxurious apartments sit just meters away from favelas climbing up steep hillsides. These communities, once malaligned, are increasingly recognized for their vibrant culture, entrepreneurial spirit, and architectural ingenuity. Let's talk about Brazilian cuisine. It's what happens when indigenous ingredients meet Portuguese techniques, African flavors, and influences from Japan, Italy, Lebanese, and German immigrants. The result? A culinary landscape as diverse as the country itself. Feijoada isn't just a black bean stew. It's Brazil's national dish and a social event. Traditionally served on Wednesdays and Saturdays, this hearty meal originated with enslaved Africans who transformed unwanted pork parts into a magnificent feast. Today, friends and family gather for hours-long feijoada sessions that inevitably end in food comas and afternoon naps. Churrasco takes barbecue to an art form. Rodizio restaurants serve endless procession of fire-roasted meats carved directly onto your plate until you surrender by turning your table card from green to red. The simple seasoning, often just coarse salt, allows the quality of the meat to shine. It's a carnivore's heaven. Acai might be a trendy superfood around the world now, but Brazilians in the Amazon have been enjoying these purple berries for centuries. Unlike the sweet bowls popular abroad, traditional Amazonian acai is often served savory, with fish and cassava flour. In southern Brazil, it's blended with guarana syrup and topped with granola and banana. The original energy bowl. Pão de queijo, those addictive cheese puffs made from cassava flour, have a fascinating origin story. They were created by enslaved cooks who repurposed the starchy water left over from soaking cassava. The fact that they are naturally gluten-free makes them accidentally trending in today's food landscape. Brazil's street food scene is legendary. Coxinha, tear-shaped chicken croquettes, pastel, crispy pastries filled with everything from cheese to the heart of palm, and tapioca, not the pudding, but thin pancakes made from cassava starch filled with sweet or savory ingredients. These portable delights fuel Brazilians through their busy days. Coffee isn't just a beverage. Brazil produces about 1/3 of the world's supply. The daily cafecino ritual involves strong, sweet coffee served in tiny cups through the day. It's so integral to the culture that offering a cafecino is synonymous with hospitality. Jabuticaba grows directly on tree trunks like purple bowls. And cashew fruit, yes, the nut we know is just a small part attached to a juicy fruit, makes a refreshing fruit that's more popular locally than the nut itself. Brazil boasts the world's 12th largest economy, with a GDP of about $1.8 trillion. It's part of the BRICS group of major emerging economies and is South America's economic powerhouse. The agricultural sector is a global giant. Brazil is the world's largest exporter of coffee, sugar, orange juice, soybean, and beef. The country's coffee production alone is so vast that when a frost hits Brazilian coffee plantations, the price of your morning cup jumps worldwide. The Cerrado Savannah was once considered unsuitable for farming, but Brazil's agricultural research transformed it into one of the world's most productive regions, a modern agricultural miracle. Natural resources abound. Brazil is second only to Australia in terms of iron ore deposits, and it is a major producer of oil since the discovery of massive oil fields off the coast. The country is also a renewable energy success story, with about 45% of its energy coming from renewable sources, 3 times the world's average. Ethanol from sugarcane powers a significant portion of Brazilian vehicles, and the country's hydroelectric dams generate 80% of its electricity. Industry in Brazil is diverse and sophisticated. Brazil manufactures everything from aircraft to automobiles. The Sao Paulo state alone would rank as the 21st largest economy in the world if it were an independent country. The tech sector is booming too, with Sao Paulo emerging as one of Latin America's main startup hubs. Brazilian fintech innovations have revolutionized banking in a country where, until recently, many people didn't have access to traditional banking services. The instant payment system, Pix, launched in 2020, processed more than 15 billion transactions in its first year alone. In 2024, that number grew to 64 billion. Tourism contributes significantly to the economy, with Brazil welcoming millions of international visitors annually. Beyond the famous beaches in Carnival, ecotourism is growing rapidly as travelers seek authentic experiences in the Amazon and Pantanal regions. But it's not all samba and sunshine. Brazil faces significant environmental challenges. While the claim that the Amazon rainforest produces 20% of the world's oxygen is a myth, this sprawling rainforest plays a critical role in global climate regulation by absorbing 2 billion tons of carbon dioxide a year. Deforestation threatens this vital ecosystem, though recent conservation efforts have shown promising results. The country is taking innovative approaches to conservation. The Amazon Region Protected Areas Program is the world's largest tropical forest conservation program, covering an area larger than Germany. Indigenous-led conservation efforts have proven particularly effective. Territories managed by indigenous peoples have significantly lower deforestation rates than other areas. Brazilians are fighting back with creative solutions. Urban centers like Curitiba have pioneered sustainable city planning with an integrated transit system that's studied worldwide. The city's program, where citizens can exchange recyclables for fresh produce, has dramatically reduced waste while improving nutrition for low-income residents. From boiling rivers to swimming jaguars, from samba-filled streets to world-changing agriculture, Brazil isn't just a country. It's a continent disguised as a nation, with enough diversity, rhythm, and stories to fill a lifetime of exploration. This incredible country never ceases to amaze and surprise. It's a land of superlatives, biggest, wildest, most musical, and most diverse. Don't forget to like this video faster than a Brazilian football goal celebration, and hit that subscribe button harder than a Carnival drummer. Tell us in the comments what surprised you the most about Brazil. Was it the swimming jaguars, the Japanese community, or maybe it's just the fact that this massive, complex country somehow still holds itself together with a spirit of joy that's infectious to call anyone home. Hit the notification bell to get notified when we upload a new video. And feel free to click one of these to see videos just like this one. Until next time, obrigado!